Captain Lee Taemin stood on the bridge of the Earth ship Discovery and watched the stars through the big window. His hands shook a little as he looked at the strange lights ahead. After 200 years of dreaming about space travel, humans had finally built ships that could move faster than light. Today was the day they would meet aliens for the first time. "Captain, we are getting signals from something big," said Officer Park So-ra from her computer station. She was the smartest person on the ship when it came to science and space physics. "The signals are not like anything we have ever seen before." Lee walked over to look at her screen. The numbers and patterns made no sense to him, but he could see that So-ra was excited and worried at the same time. "What do you think it means?" "I think we found them, sir. The aliens are real, and they are trying to talk to us. The Discovery had been flying through space for 3 months, looking for signs of alien life. Earth scientists had built the fastest ship ever made, but even they were not sure if anyone else lived among the stars. Now it looked like they had their answer." Ambassador Kim Woo-jin walked onto the bridge. He was an older man with gray hair, who had spent his whole life learning different languages and cultures. The Earth government had sent him to speak for all humans if they ever met aliens. "Are we ready for this?" he asked. "As ready as we can be," Lee answered. "But I do not think anything could really prepare us for this moment." The signals led them to a huge space station that was bigger than any city on Earth. It looked like it was made from different types of metal and crystal that glowed with soft light. Ships of all shapes and sizes moved around it like bees around a flower. Some ships looked like they were made of living wood. Others seemed to be made of pure energy, and some looked like giant shells with many arms. "My God," whispered So-ra. "How many different aliens are there?" A new voice came through their radio, speaking perfect English. "Welcome, humans of Earth. We are the Galactic Confederation. Please follow our guide ship to Docking Bay 7. Do not be afraid. We wish to speak with you." Lee felt his heart beating fast. He gave orders to his crew to follow the small alien ship that appeared next to them. The alien ship was beautiful and moved without making any sound. It seemed to flow through space like water. When they docked at the space station, Lee, Kim, and So-ra put on their best uniforms and walked through the airlock. The station had air that humans could breathe, which surprised them. 3 aliens were waiting for them in a large room with high walls covered in strange symbols. The first alien looked like a tall lizard that walked on 2 legs. Its skin was green and covered with small scales that caught the light. The second alien was like a floating jellyfish made of blue energy that changed shape as it moved. The third alien looked almost human but had 4 arms and silver eyes that seemed to glow. "I am Vorth Prime," said the lizard alien in a deep voice. "I speak for the Reptilian Empire. We are one of the oldest members of the Confederation." "I am Flux Current 7, said the energy being in a voice that sounded like music. "I represent the Ethereal Collective." "And I am Nexus Commander Vel," said the 4-armed being. "I manage this station where many species meet to talk and trade." Ambassador Kim stepped forward and bowed his head. "I am Kim Woo-jin, and I speak for the human race. This is Captain Lee Taemin and Dr. Park So-ra. We are honored to meet you." The aliens looked at the humans with interest, but Lee could tell they were not very impressed. It was like how adults might look at small children who had just learned to walk. "Tell us about your species," said Commander Vel. "What can humans do? What do you offer to the galaxy?" Kim tried his best to explain about human science, art, and culture. He talked about their cities, their music, and their desire to explore space. But as he spoke, Lee noticed that the aliens seemed bored. They would look at each other and make small sounds that might have been laughter. "Your species is very young," said Vorth Prime when Kim finished. "You have only just learned to travel between stars. Most species in the Confederation have been doing this for millions of years. What amazing things can your people do?" asked So-ra, trying to sound brave. The three aliens looked at each other, and Flux Current 7 glowed brighter. "Would you like to see a demonstration? We were just about to clear an old shipping route." They led the humans to a large window that looked out into space. In the distance, Lee could see a small red star that gave off a weak light. Around it were some broken pieces of rock that used to be planets. "That star is dying," explained Vorth Prime. "It gets in the way of ships that need to use this space route. Watch." The lizard alien pressed some buttons on a device that looked like a small crystal. Suddenly, a beam of light shot out from the space station toward the distant star. The light was so bright that the humans had to cover their eyes. When they looked again, the star was gone. Not exploded, not hidden, but completely gone. Where it used to be was just empty black space. How did you do that?" whispered Sora. Her face was white with shock. "Simple stellar manipulation," said Commander Vell like it was nothing special. "We collapsed the star into a tiny point and then removed it from normal space. Very basic technology. Most children in our schools learn this." Lee felt sick to his stomach. Humans had worked for hundreds of years just to build one ship that could travel faster than light. These aliens could make entire stars disappear like they were turning off a light bulb. The aliens showed them around the station for several hours. They saw markets where beings traded in things that humans had never imagined. Some sold bottled starlight. Others offered pieces of time itself. There were creatures that looked like living rocks, others that seemed to be made of liquid metal, and some that hurt to look at directly because they existed in too many dimensions at once. "Your technology is interesting for such a young species," said Flux Current 7 as they walked. "Your ship uses quantum drives, which is clever, but it is still very primitive compared to what most species use." In one area of the station, they saw a demonstration where aliens were building a new solar system. They moved planets around like toys and lit a new star to warm them. The work that would take nature billions of years, these aliens did in a few hours. "We have been watching your species for some time," said Vorth Prime as they returned to the docking area. "You show promise, but you have much to learn. Perhaps in a few thousand years, you will be ready to contribute something meaningful to the galaxy." The words stung, but Lee tried not to show it. "What happens now?" "You may visit this station when you wish," said Commander Vell. "We will register your species in our database. You are welcome to trade with other young species who are at your level of development." As they walked back to their ship, Kim, Lee, and Sora did not speak. They all felt small and stupid. Everything humans had achieved seemed worthless compared to what these aliens could do. Just as they reached their ship, alarms started going off throughout the station. Their alien guides suddenly looked worried. "What is happening?" asked Lee. "Emergency in Sector 12, said Commander Vell, checking a device on his wrist. "A primitive species ship is in trouble near the Nexus Nebula. Their life support is failing? Can you help them?" asked Sora. The aliens looked at each other. "It would cost too much energy," said Vorth Prime. "Primitive species often have accidents. It is part of natural selection." Lee felt anger rise in his chest. "What species are we talking about?" "Yours," said Flux Current 7. "The ship Horizon from your Earth. 43 crew members." The blood left Lee's face. The Horizon was Earth's second interstellar ship. His friend Captain Choi was commanding it. "Please," said Kim. "We will pay anything, do anything." "There is nothing you have that we need," said Vorth Prime. "And the distance is too far for your primitive ship to reach in time." Lee looked at his crew. Sora was already running numbers on her computer. "Captain, if we push our engines past their safety limits and take a direct route through the nebula, we might make it. It will be very dangerous." "Do it," said Lee, without hesitation. The aliens watched with mild interest as the humans ran to their ship. "They will probably die too," said Commander Vell. "Primitive species are so emotional." The Discovery raced through space faster than it was designed to go. The engines made terrible noises, and the whole ship shook. They flew through the dangerous nebula where most ships would not dare to go. The gas clouds were full of energy that could destroy their electronics. But Sora found a way to protect their systems using parts from the coffee machine and the exercise bike. They reached the horizon just as its life support was about to fail completely. The ship was badly damaged and drifting helplessly. Lee and his crew worked for 8 hours straight to repair the other ship enough to get home. They used their own spare parts and even tore panels off their own walls. When both ships finally made it back to the space station, the aliens were surprised to see them. "Remarkable," said Flux Current 7. "Your species may be more resourceful than we thought." But Lee was too angry to feel proud. As he helped the injured crew members from the horizon, he made a promise to himself. Humans would never again have to beg aliens for help. Somehow, some way, they would become strong enough to stand as equals among the stars. Dr. Park Sora stared at the alien starlifter machine with tired eyes. She had been studying it for 3 months, and her head hurt from trying to understand how it worked. The machine was beautiful, made of crystals that glowed with soft blue light. But the science behind it made no sense to her. "Any progress?" asked engineer Choi Dong-hyun as he walked into the laboratory. His clothes were dirty from working on alien technology all day, and he looked as tired as Sora felt. "A little," Sora said, rubbing her forehead. "I think I understand maybe 10% of how this works. The aliens use something they call dimensional folding to reach inside stars and change how they burn. But every time I think I understand one part, I find 3 more parts that make no sense." It had been 2 years since humans first met the Galactic Confederation. In that time, Earth had sent teams of scientists to alien worlds to learn their technology. The aliens allowed this because they thought it was amusing to watch primitive humans try to understand advanced science. Sora was leading Project Prometheus, Earth's secret plan to learn stellar manipulation. The project was named after the old Greek story about stealing fire from the gods. Earth's government had chosen the name on purpose. Agent Lim Ji-won walked into the lab carrying a coffee cup and looking unhappy. She was supposed to be a trade negotiator, but she was really a spy. Her job was to listen to alien conversations and steal their secrets. "Bad news," Ji-won said, sitting down heavily in a chair. "I heard the ethereal collective talking about us yesterday. They think humans are learning too fast. Some of them want to limit what technology they share with us." "What do you mean, limit?" asked Dong-hyun, looking up from a piece of alien equipment he was taking apart. "They want to put restrictions on what we can learn, like teachers who only let children use safe scissors instead of real ones." Sora felt anger growing in her chest. "They still think we are children." "To them we are," said Ji-won. "Most alien species took millions of years to develop stellar technology. We have been at it for only 2 years, and we are already making progress. That scares some of them." Admiral Yoon Kyung-ho walked into the lab wearing his military uniform. He was a serious man who rarely smiled, but Sora could see he was excited about something. "Dr. Park, I have good news," he said. "The test on Luna Base was successful. Our first starlifter is working." Sora jumped up from her chair. "Really? It actually worked?" "See for yourself," Kyung-ho said, handing her a tablet computer. The screen showed a video from Luna Base, where human scientists had built a copy of an alien starlifter. The machine looked crude compared to alien technology, but it was working. A dying red star in a nearby system was burning brighter and would now live for millions of years longer. "The aliens think our machine is ugly and primitive," said Kyung-ho, "but it works just as well as theirs. Maybe better in some ways." Dong-hyun looked at the video with wide eyes. "How is it better?" "Our machine is smaller and uses less energy," Sora explained. "Alien starlifters are huge and need enormous amounts of power. Our version uses human computer technology to be more efficient." Jiwon smiled for the first time in days. The aliens noticed. I heard Vorth Prime telling other species that humans have unusual intuitive understanding of stellar physics. He sounded worried. Over the next few months, human scientists made more breakthroughs. They learned that human brains worked differently from alien brains. Where aliens followed the same methods their species had used for millions of years, humans found new ways to solve problems. Dr. Kang Min Seo was working on quantum entanglement theory at a research station near Proxima Centauri. She discovered that humans could understand multiple dimensions of space in ways that even advanced aliens found difficult. "Look at this," Min Seo said during a video call with Sora. "I can see how to connect two stars across thousands of light years using quantum entanglement. The aliens say this is impossible, but I can see exactly how to do it." "Show me," said Sora, leaning closer to her screen. Min Seo drew diagrams that looked like impossible geometric shapes. To Sora, they made perfect sense. To alien scientists who saw them, they looked like random scribbles. "We think differently," Sora realized. "Our minds work in ways that alien minds do not." This discovery led to rapid progress. Humans began developing technology that worked on completely different principles from alien machines. Instead of using brute force to manipulate stars, humans found elegant solutions that required much less energy. Engineer Nam Ha-young designed a stellar flare controller that could make stars release energy bursts with perfect timing. Her design was so simple that it fit in a briefcase, while alien versions filled entire spaceships. "The secret is not fighting the star," Ha-young explained to her team. "Aliens try to force stars to do what they want. We ask the stars to help us, and they do." But success brought new problems. Agent Ji-won reported that more alien species were becoming nervous about human progress. "The crystalline hive mind called an emergency meeting," she told Sora during one of their secret conversations. "They think humans are developing too fast. They want the Confederation to step in." "Step in how?" asked Sora. "They want to classify stellar manipulation technology as restricted for primitive species. If they do that, we would be banned from learning more." Sora felt cold fear in her stomach. "Can they do that?" "They have done it before," Jiwon said quietly. "There was a species called the Seekers who developed quantum computing very quickly. The Confederation decided they were too dangerous and put limits on their technology. The Seekers never advanced beyond their current level." This news reached Admiral Kyung-ho, who immediately called a meeting with Earth's government. The message was clear. Humanity had to be very careful. If they advanced too quickly or too obviously, the aliens might stop them permanently. "We need to be smarter about this," Kyung-ho told his team. "We keep working, but we hide how much progress we are making." Sora did not like the idea of hiding their achievements, but she understood why it was necessary. Humans began building their advanced technology in secret locations far from alien observation. Meanwhile, diplomat Jeon In-ho worked to keep alien suspicions calm. He was good at making humans seem harmless and grateful for alien help. "We are just simple students," he would tell alien officials. "We want to learn from your great wisdom. Our small successes are only possible because of your generous teaching." Though aliens liked hearing this, and it helped reduce their worries. But Sora knew it was only a temporary solution. The breakthrough came when Dr. Min Seo figured out how to use quantum entanglement to connect to stellar cores from vast distances. This meant humans could manipulate stars without needing huge machines nearby. "This changes everything," Sora told her team as they looked at Min Seo's data. "We can affect stars from hundreds of light years away. The aliens need to be right next to a star to work with it." They tested the technology in secret, using a dead star system that no one visited. The results were incredible. From their hidden base, human scientists restarted a star that had been cold for thousands of years. The new star began warming planets that had been frozen for ages. "We did in 6 months what would take aliens 6,000 years," said engineer Dong Hyun, staring at the readings in amazement. But their secret was discovered when an alien trade ship detected the energy signatures from the reborn star system. The ship's captain reported the anomaly to Confederation authorities. Within days, alien investigators arrived at the system. They found clear evidence that the star had been artificially restarted using unknown technology. "This is impossible," said the lead investigator, a floating crystal being from the Geometric Collective. "No known species has the technology to restart dead stars from a distance." Agent G1, who was monitoring alien communications, brought the bad news to Sora. "They know someone restarted that star, and they know it was not done with standard Confederation technology. They are investigating all species in this sector." "How long before they figure out it was us?" asked Sora. "Maybe weeks, maybe days," G1 said. "They are scanning for quantum entanglement signatures. When they find our hidden base, they will know everything." Admiral Kyung-ho made a difficult decision. "We reveal ourselves before they discover us. Better to control the situation than let them find out by accident." At the next Confederation meeting, Ambassador Kim presented humanity's achievement to the gathered alien representatives. The response was immediate chaos. "Impossible," declared Vorth Prime. "Your species has existed for less than 3 of your years in galactic society. You cannot have developed such advanced technology." "Yet here is the evidence," said Kim, showing recordings of the reborn star system. The aliens argued among themselves in dozens of different languages. Some were amazed, others were angry, and a few seemed frightened. Commander Vell of Nexus Station finally spoke for the group. "If humans can restart dead stars from vast distances, what else can you do?" "We are still learning," Kim answered carefully. "We hope to continue our studies with Confederation approval." "This requires immediate review," said Flux Current 7, its energy form flickering with agitation. "Your species may need new classifications and restrictions." The meeting ended with no decisions made, but Sora knew that everything had changed. Dr. Kang Min-seo floated in zero gravity inside the hidden research station called Deep Thought. The station was built inside a hollowed-out asteroid far from any alien trade routes. Around her, holographic displays showed star maps with quantum connection lines that looked like a glowing spider web. "The entanglement network is stable," she reported to her team. "We now have quantum links to over 200 star systems. We can manipulate any of them from here." Engineer Nam Ha-young checked her instruments at another workstation. "The power efficiency is incredible. We are using less energy than a small city on Earth, but we can affect stars across half the galaxy." It had been 3 years since humans revealed their ability to restart dead stars. Since then, they had been working in secret to develop even more advanced technology. The Galactic Confederation had demanded that humans stop their stellar research, but Earth's government had quietly refused. General Bae Sung-ho walked into the laboratory wearing a worried expression. As head of humanity's secret weapons program, he carried the weight of their species' future on his shoulders. "The Confederation fleet movements are getting more aggressive," he told the scientists. "Agent Lim reports that several species are positioning warships near human space." "How many ships?" asked Min-seo, trying to keep her voice calm. "Enough to destroy every human colony if they decide we are too dangerous to exist," Sung-ho answered grimly. The threat was real. Over the past year, alien leaders had become increasingly frightened by human technological progress. What scared them most was not just what humans had achieved, but how quickly they had achieved it. Dr. Park So-ra, now director of all human stellar research, appeared on a communication screen from Earth. Her hair had more gray in it than before, and she looked tired from years of intense work. "The Vorth Empire just issued another ultimatum," she said. "They want us to surrender all stellar manipulation technology and allow Confederation inspectors to monitor our research permanently." "What did Earth's government tell them?" asked Ha-young. President Rao gave them a polite refusal, Sora replied. But everyone knows this cannot continue much longer. Either we submit to alien control, or we prove that we are strong enough to stand as equals. Diplomat Jian In-ho had been working desperately to find a peaceful solution. He met with alien representatives daily, trying to convince them that humans were not a threat, but fear was stronger than diplomacy. The problem is that we have broken their understanding of how technology develops, In-ho explained during a secure video call. They expect species to advance slowly over millions of years. We have done in a few years what should take thousands of lifetimes. Minseo understood the alien fear, but she also knew that humans could not go backward. They had tasted the power to reshape stars themselves. No one could ask them to forget that knowledge. "Show me the latest test results," she said to her team. Ha Young activated a holographic display that showed their most recent breakthrough. Using quantum entanglement, they had successfully triggered controlled stellar flares in distant star systems. The flares were precise enough to send energy exactly where they wanted it. "We can now boost the energy output of any star by 50%, Ha Young explained. "Or we can reduce it to almost nothing. We can make stars pulse in patterns, create solar storms on command, or calm stellar activity completely. The applications are endless," added engineer Choi Dong-hyun, who had been working on practical uses for their technology. "We can terraform planets by adjusting their stars' energy output. We can create perfect conditions for life on any world." But Minseo was thinking about military applications. If humans could control stellar energy with such precision, they could also weaponize it. "What about offensive capabilities?" asked General Sung-ho, reading her thoughts. "We could trigger solar flares powerful enough to disable any spacecraft within a star system," Minseo said quietly. "Or we could focus stellar energy into beams that could destroy planets." The room fell silent as everyone absorbed the implications. Humans now possessed technology that could be used as the ultimate weapon. Agent Lim Ji-won's voice came through the communication system with urgent news. "All teams, we have a problem. Confederation intelligence has discovered the location of Deep Thought Station. A strike force is on its way to destroy it." Alarms began sounding throughout the station. General Sung-ho immediately activated emergency protocols. "How long do we have?" he asked. 6 hours. "Maybe less," Ji-won replied. "The strike force includes 3 Vorth dreadnoughts and a crystalline planet killer. They are not planning to capture the station. They want to destroy it completely." Minseo felt fear and anger fighting in her chest. The aliens were so afraid of human progress that they were willing to murder hundreds of scientists to stop it. "We could evacuate," suggested Ha Young. "Save the people and abandon the equipment." "No," said Minseo firmly. "If we run now, we will spend the rest of our lives running. It is time to show them what humans can really do." She turned to her control station and began activating systems that had never been used before. Deep Thought Station was not just a research facility. It was also humanity's first stellar weapon platform. "Are you sure about this?" asked General Sung-ho. "Once we use these weapons, there will be no going back. The aliens will know we can threaten their home systems." "They already know," Minseo replied. "That is why they are coming to destroy us." The quantum entanglement network hummed to life. Through the network, Minseo could feel the power of hundreds of stars across the galaxy. Each one was connected to her station by invisible threads of quantum energy. On the main display, she could see the approaching Confederation strike force. The alien ships were massive and heavily armed. Under normal circumstances, they could destroy the asteroid station without any difficulty. But these were not normal circumstances. "Target the primary star in the Kepler 442 system," Minseo ordered. "Prepare to trigger a Class 7 solar flare." Her team worked quickly to configure the quantum targeting system. The Kepler 442 system was uninhabited, but it was visible from every major alien homeworld. What they were about to do would be seen across the galaxy. Quantum connection established, reported Dong Hyun. We are linked to the star's core. Flare sequence ready, added Ha Young. Magnitude 7 will be visible from over 1,000 light-years away. General Sung Ho opened a communication channel to the approaching alien fleet. Confederation vessels, this is Deep Thought Station. You are ordered to halt your approach immediately. The response came from Fourth Admiral Korthek, whose voice carried the arrogance of someone accustomed to easy victories. Primitive humans, you will surrender your illegal technology and submit to Confederation authority. Resistance is futile. Admiral, I suggest you observe the Kepler 442 system before making any hasty decisions, Min Seo said, taking control of the communication. What are you talking about? Demanded Korthek. Watch and learn, Min Seo replied. She activated the stellar manipulation system. Across the galaxy, the star in Kepler 442 suddenly erupted in a massive solar flare. The flare was perfectly controlled, creating a pattern of energy bursts that spelled out a message in ancient galactic standard language. Humanity rises. The alien fleet stopped moving. In the silence that followed, Min Seo could imagine the shock and fear spreading through alien command centers across the galaxy. Impossible, whispered Admiral Korthek. You cannot manipulate stars from this distance. Our instruments show you have no stellar manipulation equipment. Your instruments are designed to detect alien technology, Min Seo explained calmly. They cannot see what humans have built. She activated another display showing quantum connections to dozens of other star systems. We are currently connected to 317 stars across the galaxy. We can affect any of them instantly. You are bluffing, said Korthek, but his voice had lost its confidence. To prove her point, Min Seo triggered controlled flares in 5 different star systems simultaneously. Each flare was precisely timed and shaped, creating a light show that could be seen from every major alien world. The alien fleet began backing away from Deep Thought Station. This is a declaration of war, Korthek said, but he sounded frightened now. No, Min Seo replied. This is a declaration of independence. Humanity will no longer accept being treated as children. We have grown up, and we demand to be treated as equals. Dr. Sora's voice came through the communication system from Earth. Min Seo, what have you done? What had to be done, Min Seo answered. We have shown the galaxy that humans are not primitive anymore. Now they have to decide if they want us as friends or enemies. Over the next few hours, reports came in from across human space. Alien fleets were pulling back from their aggressive positions. Emergency meetings were being called on every major alien world. The demonstration had achieved its purpose. The galaxy now knew that humans possessed stellar-scale weapons, but Min Seo also knew that this was only the beginning. The aliens would not simply accept humanity's new status. They would either learn to respect human power, or they would unite to destroy humanity before human technology became even more advanced. General Sung Ho received a priority message from Earth's government. The President is calling an emergency session of the Global Council. President Ryu Sang-min stood in the war room beneath Seoul, surrounded by screens showing star maps covered with red warning symbols. Each symbol represented an alien fleet moving toward human space. The largest concentration of enemy ships was bigger than anything in recorded galactic history. How many? He asked Admiral Shin Bo-ra, who was studying the tactical displays with grim determination. 2,000 warships from 17 different species, she replied. The Fourth Empire contributed 400 dreadnoughts. The Crystalline Collective sent their entire battle-hive fleet. Even species we thought were friendly have joined the alliance against us. Dr. Park So-ra, now 70 years old but still sharp as ever, wheeled her chair closer to the central display. Years of working with dangerous stellar technology had taken a toll on her health, but her mind remained brilliant. They are not just trying to defeat us, she said, pointing at the fleet formations. They are planning to eliminate us completely. This is an extermination force. The Galactic Confederation had made their decision 3 months after humanity's demonstration at Kepler 442. Despite diplomatic efforts by Earth's ambassadors, the alien leaders had concluded that humans were too dangerous to exist. The official statement spoke of preventive measures to ensure galactic stability, but everyone understood what it really meant. Young scientist O.J. Sung walked into the war room carrying a tablet computer and looking both excited and terrified. At only 28 years old, he was the youngest person ever to join the Stellar Weapons Program, but his ideas had shocked even experienced researchers. "Sir, I have completed the calculations for Project Final Option," he said to President Ryu. "It is possible, but the risks are enormous." "Explain it in simple terms," ordered the president. O looked at the assembled leaders and took a deep breath. "We can build a weapon that destroys stars completely. Not just manipulation or control, but total annihilation. The star would collapse into nothing and take its entire system with it." The room fell silent. Admiral Shin was the first to speak. "How is that different from what the aliens showed us when we first met them? They made a star disappear." "That was just moving a star to another dimension," O explained. "What I am proposing is making the star cease to exist entirely. The energy release would be visible from anywhere in the galaxy." Dr. Sora studied the data on O's tablet. Her face grew pale as she read the numbers. "The power requirements are incredible. This would consume most of our quantum entanglement network, and if something goes wrong, we could destroy multiple star systems by accident," O finished quietly, "including our own." President Ryu walked to the window that looked out over the underground city. Thousands of people lived and worked in the bunkers beneath Earth's surface, preparing for a war that might end humanity forever. "What are our other options?" he asked. Admiral Shin activated another display showing human military assets. "We have 43 warships, all equipped with our latest technology. Our ships are faster and more efficient than alien vessels, but they outnumber us 50 to 1. Our stellar manipulation weapons could disable their fleets," added Dr. Sora, "but only if they come close to stars. If they attack us in deep space, our advantage is greatly reduced." General Bae Sung-ho joined the conversation through a secure video link from Titan Base. "I have been coordinating with our colony defenses. Every human world is as ready as we can make them, but we all know that conventional defenses will not stop this fleet." The president turned back to O. "Your Star Destroyer weapon. How long would it take to build?" 6 months if we use every resource available," O replied. "But sir, I must emphasize the dangers. This technology goes beyond anything humans have ever attempted. We would be playing with forces that could destroy the entire solar system. The aliens are already planning to destroy every human system," pointed out Admiral Shin. "At least this gives us a chance to fight back." Dr. Sora had been quietly reviewing O's calculations. "There is another concern," she said. "If we build this weapon and use it, we become exactly what the aliens fear we are. We become a species capable of destroying stars at will." "Maybe that is what we need to become," said President Ryu grimly. "The universe has shown us that being peaceful and reasonable is not enough. If we want to survive, we must be strong, enough that no one dares threaten us." The decision was not easy. For 3 days, the Global Council debated whether to authorize Project Final Option. Some representatives argued that building such a weapon would make humans monsters. Others pointed out that the aliens had given them no choice. Agent Lim Ji-won provided intelligence that helped make the decision. She had intercepted alien communications that revealed the true scope of their plans. "They are not just planning to destroy our military," she reported. "They want to eliminate every human colony, research station, and settlement. They see our entire species as a contamination that must be removed from the galaxy." The vote was close, but Project Final Option was approved. Earth's entire industrial capacity was redirected toward building the Star Destroyer weapon. The project required materials and energy from every human world. Dr. Min Seo, working from her new laboratory on Mars, coordinated the quantum entanglement network that would power the weapon. The scale of the project was unprecedented. They needed to channel the energy of dozens of stars into a single focused beam. The targeting system is the most complex part, she explained during a progress meeting. We need to be able to select any star in the galaxy and trigger its collapse within seconds. There will be no room for error. Engineer Nam Ha-young led the team building the weapon's physical components. The device itself was surprisingly small, about the size of a cargo container, but it contained technology that pushed the limits of human understanding. The quantum resonance chamber is incredibly delicate, she warned her team. Even a small mistake during assembly could cause an explosion that would destroy Mars. As the months passed, reports came in about the approaching alien fleet. They were taking their time, gathering ships from across the galaxy and preparing for a campaign that would eliminate humanity forever. Diplomat John In-ho made one final attempt at negotiation. He met with Confederation representatives at a neutral station, pleading for a peaceful solution. Please reconsider this course of action, he begged the alien leaders. Humans want only to coexist peacefully with other species. We pose no threat to anyone. Vorth Prime, speaking for the Alliance, was unmoved. Your species has demonstrated technology that should not exist. You have advanced too far too quickly. This threatens the natural order of the galaxy. You developed the same technology over millions of years, In-ho pointed out. How is human achievement different? Because you are too young to have wisdom, replied Flux Current 7. Power without wisdom leads to destruction. We cannot allow such a risk to exist. The negotiations failed completely. The Alien Alliance was determined to proceed with their attack. Back on Earth, Project Final Option neared completion. Young O.J. Sung had barely slept in months, working around the clock to perfect the Star Destroyer weapon. The stress had aged him years, but his dedication never wavered. Final tests are complete, he reported to President Ryu. The weapon works exactly as designed. We can destroy any star within 1,000 light-years instantly. What about targets beyond that range? Asked Admiral Shin. We would need more time to establish quantum connections, O explained. But theoretically, we could eventually reach any star in the galaxy. Dr. So-Ra had mixed feelings about their success. We have created something that makes us as powerful as gods, she said quietly. I pray we have the wisdom to use it correctly. The alien fleet finally arrived at the edge of human space. 2,000 warships spread across multiple star systems, beginning a systematic advance toward Earth. Their commanders broadcast ultimatums demanding humanity's immediate surrender. You have 24 hours to abandon all stellar manipulation, technology, and submit to Confederation authority, announced Admiral Korthek. Any resistance will result in the complete annihilation of your species. President Ryu called an emergency meeting of Earth's leadership. The moment of decision had arrived. We can surrender and hope they allow some humans to survive under alien control, he said. Or we can fight with the most powerful weapon ever created and risk destroying ourselves in the process. Dr. So-Ra looked at her colleagues, seeing fear and determination in equal measure. If we surrender, we cease to be human in any meaningful way. We become pets of species that see us as children. Admiral Shin checked the tactical displays one final time. The alien fleet will reach Earth in 6 days. If we are going to use the Star Destroyer, it must be soon. O.J. Sung sat quietly, knowing that his creation would soon determine the fate of humanity. Whatever we decide, we must be ready to live with the consequences. President Ryu stood and looked at each person in the room. These were the humans who would decide whether their species lived free or died fighting. We did not ask for this. War, he said finally. But we will not submit to species that see us as inferior. Humanity has always chosen freedom over safety. The order was given. Project Final Option would be activated. Dr. O.J. Sung floated in the zero-gravity chamber at the heart of the Star Crusher weapon, his hands shaking as he made final adjustments to the quantum resonance controls. Around him, screens displayed energy readings that made even experienced scientists nervous. The weapon was ready, but using it would change everything forever. All systems show green, reported engineer Nam Ha-young from her control station. The quantum entanglement network is stable across all connected star systems. We have targeting locks on 1,700 stars within combat range. Admiral Shin Bo-ra watched the tactical display showing the approaching alien fleet. 2,000 warships from across the galaxy were now entering the outer edge of the solar system. Their formation was perfect, their advance unstoppable by any conventional weapon. "How long until they reach Earth?" asked President Ryu through the communication link. 18 hours, replied Shin. They are not trying to hide their intentions. Complete orbital bombardment of every human world. Captain Lee Tae-min, now an old man but still commanding the defense fleet, spoke from the bridge of his flagship. Our ships are in position, but we all know this is not a battle we can win with weapons. Everything depends on the Star Crusher. Oh felt the weight of humanity's survival pressing down on him. The weapon he had designed could destroy any star in the galaxy, but it had never been tested at full power. Computer simulations said it would work, but reality sometimes differed from simulations. "Dr. Oh," came the voice of Dr. Park So-ra from Earth. Even at her advanced age, she was monitoring every aspect of the operation. "Are you certain about the targeting calculations? If we miss, we will not get a second chance." "I have checked the numbers 1,000 times," Oh replied. "The target star is in an uninhabited system, but it is visible from every major alien homeworld. When it dies, the entire galaxy will see what humans can do." The target was a bright blue giant star in the Perseus arm, chosen specifically for its visibility. The star had no planets with life, but its destruction would be seen across the galaxy like a cosmic lighthouse announcing humanity's power. Ambassador Kim Woo-jin, now serving as Earth's senior diplomat, opened a final communication channel to the alien fleet. His voice was calm but carried the weight of species survival. "Admiral Korthek, this is Ambassador Kim of Earth. I am authorized to offer you one final opportunity to withdraw your forces and negotiate a peaceful solution." The response from the Vorth commander was filled with contempt. "Primitive humans, your time for negotiation has ended. In 16 hours, your species will be extinct. This is the price of threatening your superiors. Admiral, I urge you to observe the star designated HD 164595 in the Perseus arm," Kim said quietly. "You may find it educational." "Enough of your pathetic attempts at intimidation," Korthek replied. "Nothing you possess can threaten the combined might of the Galactic Confederation." Kim closed the communication and nodded to President Ryu. "They have been warned. The rest is up to us." O began the activation sequence for the Star Crusher. The weapon drew power from the quantum entanglement network, channeling energy from dozens of stars across human space. The readings on his screens climbed to levels that should have been impossible. "Quantum resonance at 70%, reported Ha-young. "All safety systems are showing critical warnings." "Override the safeties," ordered Admiral Shin. "This is not a time for caution." The Star Crusher hummed with barely contained power. O could feel the vibrations through the deck plates as forces beyond human understanding built up inside the weapon's core. The quantum targeting system locked onto the distant star, creating a connection across 800 light-years of space. "Target acquired," O announced. "HD 164595 is locked. The star has a mass of 47 times our sun. Estimated destruction time 12 seconds after activation, President Ryu's voice carried across all human communication networks. Citizens of Earth and all human colonies, today we face extinction or liberation. We choose to stand as equals among the stars, whatever the cost. Agent Lim Ji-won, monitoring alien communications from her station on Luna, reported increasing panic among the enemy fleet. Sir, they are detecting massive energy buildups from our position. Several alien commanders are demanding explanations from their superiors. Let them wonder, said Admiral Shin grimly. In a few minutes, they will understand exactly what they are facing. O's hands moved over the final controls. The Star Crusher was now drawing power equivalent to the entire energy output of a small star. The quantum entanglement threads stretched across the galaxy like invisible strings connecting humanity to their target. All stations report ready, said Ha-Young. Weapon is fully charged and awaiting final authorization. President Ryu took a deep breath. Once this order was given, humanity would become a species capable of destroying stars. There would be no going back from that threshold. Dr. O, you are authorized to fire. O pressed the activation control. 800 light-years. Away, the blue giant star, HD 164595, suddenly began to collapse. The quantum beam from the Star Crusher reached into the star's core and disrupted the delicate balance between gravity and nuclear fusion. In seconds, the star that had burned for millions of years began to die. The collapse was visible immediately, through the quantum entanglement network. On screens across human space, scientists watched as a star 47 times larger than Earth's sun compressed into a point smaller than a city. Then came the explosion. When a massive star dies naturally, it becomes a supernova that can be seen across the galaxy. When HD 164595 died under the Star Crusher's influence, the explosion was 10 times brighter than any natural supernova. The light would take years to reach most of the galaxy, but the quantum resonance effects were felt immediately. Every advanced civilization in the galaxy had instruments sensitive enough to detect the quantum signatures of stellar manipulation. Within minutes, every alien homeworld knew that someone had just destroyed a star using technology beyond their understanding. Aboard the Confederation fleet, chaos erupted. "Impossible!" screamed Admiral Korthek. "No species has that kind of power. Our instruments must be malfunctioning." But the evidence was undeniable. Sensors across the galaxy confirmed that HD 164595 had been artificially destroyed using quantum manipulation techniques that no known technology could achieve. Agent Lim intercepted dozens of panicked communications between alien commanders. "They are completely unprepared for this," she reported. "Many ships are requesting permission to withdraw." Captain Lee opened communications to the alien fleet. His voice was steady and confident. "Admiral Korthek, you have just witnessed the power of humanity's Star Crusher weapon. We can destroy any star in the galaxy from this position." "You are bluffing," Korthek replied, but his voice lacked conviction. "Are you willing to bet your homeworld on that assumption?" Lee asked calmly. To prove the point was not a bluff, O targeted a second star, this one in the same sector as the Vorth Empire's capital system. The star was smaller and further away, but the Star Crusher destroyed it just as efficiently as the first target. The psychological effect was devastating. The Confederation fleet began to break formation as individual commanders lost their nerve. President Ryu broadcast a message that reached every alien ship simultaneously. "Leaders of the Galactic Confederation, humanity did not choose this path. You forced us to become what we are now. We can destroy any star that warms any world in this galaxy. We demand immediate withdrawal of all hostile forces from human space," added Admiral Shin. "Any ship that does not begin retreating within 1 hour will be considered a continuing threat." The response was not immediate surrender, but it was close. Vorth Admiral Korthek tried to maintain some dignity as his fleet began the long journey home. "This is not over, humans," he transmitted. "The Confederation will not forget this day." "Neither will we," Captain Lee replied. Remember that the next time you consider threatening our species. Over the following days, representatives from every major alien civilization requested urgent meetings with human diplomats. The casual dismissal and contempt that had characterized alien attitudes toward humanity were replaced by cautious respect and barely hidden fear. Ambassador Kim found himself in the unprecedented position of negotiating from strength. When the Crystalline Collective demanded that humans limit their stellar weapons, he simply smiled and declined. "We will use our technology responsibly," he assured them, "but we will not accept restrictions imposed by species who tried to exterminate us." Dr. Sora, now recognized as the founder of human stellar science, was invited to address the Galactic Confederation's Science Council. Her words would be remembered for generations. "Every species in this galaxy has followed the same path," she told the assembled alien scientists. "Slow development over millions of years, gradual mastery of stellar forces, eventual stagnation. Humans chose a different path. We compressed millions of years of advancement into a few decades." "That should be impossible," protested a representative from the Geometric Collective. "Yet here we are," Sora replied simply. "Perhaps it is time for the galaxy to accept that the impossible is simply what has not been tried yet." Oh Jae-sung became the most famous human in galactic history.